I don't care if you have cancer. My child deserves your seat. This encounter happened about 7 months ago. I do not want to insult your intelligence because you most likely already know that what EM and ME stands for. But I should say that EK in the story stands for embarrassed kid and OG stands for old gentleman, 60-some-year-old guy. The kid was very polite and sorry, so this story isn't about him. Also, I'm translating this into English, so bear with me. A little backstory. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with a cancer of the nasal cavity, stage 2. The tumor was quite large, but thankfully benign. Edit, people have pointed out I formulated this wrong. By benign, I wanted to shorten the fact it still did not spread into any other tissue. Thus, it was still contained, which is what I thought that would mean. I apologize for gaps my knowledge. To get it removed, I had to undergo aggressive chemotherapy to make it smaller. Thanks to the chemo, I had severe alopecia hair loss, which made the most of my hair and even my eyebrows and eyelashes fall out. At some point, I had to go bald, but I wore a wig because I didn't want to look like a skinhead slash neo-Nazi. I'm 6'4" and pretty muscular, so I thought people would assume. So once, after a long chemo section in the hospital, I took the bus home. There's only one bus that goes from the hospital to where I live, so I took that one only to see it was absolutely packed. I felt like shit thanks to the chemo, so I asked a middle-aged dude to let me sit. He was very understanding and gave me his spot without complaining. If you really thanks, bro. 2 stops later, enter EM, a lovely whale with an I demand a pearly with a CEO haircut, and some 12-year-old kid. It took her roughly 5 seconds to see the bus was packed, start looking for a free seat, spot me, and start marching, well, in her case, trying to fit in the aisle between the seats while shoving others aside, to me. When I saw her, I knew I was screwed. She then stood next to me and decided to talk to me. This is a conversation that followed. EM. Hey, could you let my kid sit down? Me. You mean me? EM. Who else? Me. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm on my way from the hospital and EM cutting me off. So are we. Nonsense. The stop was just a few kilometers away from the hospital. My boy just broke his leg and we're coming straight from the ER. Her kid was standing next to her without any support, clearly embarrassed. Me. He's standing next to you completely fine. EM. Look here, boy. I'm 21 years old. My kid deserves to sit down. Me. Look, madam, I'm sorry, but I just got back from a chemo session at the hospital and I need to sit down and rest. I then moved my wig a bit to let her see my bald head. EM then straight up started yelling at my face. EM, stop making excuses and get out the fucking seat, you fucking skinhead piece of shit! At this point, I was baffled. I didn't know what to say. The kid was trying to make his mother stop, and we had the attention of the whole bus. She then grabbed me and tried to yank me from my seat. I held on tight and thankfully didn't fall off. Now, enter OG, my savior. OG, will you just shut the fuck up, you dumb cow? EM, who do you think you're talking to? OG, with a ice stone cold voice. Stop assaulting other passengers, I'll be forced to step in. Also, every dumb moron can see the dude has cancer. EM, no, he's just a fucking skinhead. OG, he's got no eyebrows, you twat. Seems like that really offended EM, because she spun around on the spot and threw a falcon punch in OG's face. I was shocked and in disbelief. The whole bus was flabbergasted, and the kid probably wished he'd never been born. OG then said something unbelievable, and a golden, sweet coma moment followed. OG. Okay, that does it. Harassing passengers on the bus, physical assault against a passenger, and now assaulting an officer. You're in deep trouble, lady. OG then pulled out a badge and told her to stay where she was. Then he pulled out his phone, called someone, and told her she was being arrested. I couldn't believe it. OG was a bloody cop. At this point, EM was as white as a wall. The bus had just come to a stop, so she decided to make a run for it, but other passengers blocked her way. She then also got charged with resisting arrest thanks to this. 3 stops later, a police car was waiting for EM and EK. EK told me he was sorry for his mother's behavior, and I felt really sorry for the kid. He wasn't a bad child, but his mother was a hellspawn. OG then talked to me and asked me if I wanted to press charges, to which I gladly said yes, took a statement, and thankfully was kind enough to let me solve everything on the phone, so I didn't have to come to police station for questioning. In the end, EM got some jail time. I think it was a few months and some community service. I, in return, got a good story to tell in the sweet taste of instant karma. Right now, I'm riding the same bus home, as I just got back home from the hospital after a checkup, which reminded me of this. A friend who's sitting next to me told me I should post it here. He, as such as myself, also couldn't believe that such people existed, but it seems I proved it to him. I should also note that the surgery went well. I was declared cancer-free in November and my hair is slowly returning. Also, I don't need to wear a wig anymore. First of all, congratulations, OP, for beating cancer. I really appreciate that you can say that you're a survivor of cancer, right? And second off, fuck Karen. First off, trying to use her kid as an excuse when obviously he wasn't hurt, his leg wasn't broken, none of that. I don't know what I'd do in that situation, because I've never had to deal with that. That's all I have to say, is I don't know what I have to do in that situation. Anyway, everybody. Like, subscribe, do whatever the fucking shit you need to do. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody!